Welcome to T-News 9 channel. Let's dive into chapter 35 of The Silent Verdict, titled Scapegoat. Every system survives by finding someone it can blame. The shift did not come with outrage. It came with relief. For weeks, confusion had hovered at the edges of public conversation on these questions. Half-formed doubts, the discomfort of realizing that decisions had been made without anyone quite remembering who made them. Then a name surfaced. Max Cross. It arrived first as a footnote, then a reference, then an explanation. Commentators framed it carefully. A rogue influence, an unofficial consultant, a private actor whose ideas were misapplied. The language mattered. It always did. If the problem had a face, it could be contained. Panels debated his role with practiced distance. They did not ask why the system had welcomed his thinking. They asked how much of it could be traced back to him. How influential was Dr. Cross really? Did agencies rely too heavily on his framework? Was there sufficient oversight of his involvement? Each question carried the same promise. This was not about us. Mara Vance watched the narrative settle into place with quiet precision. She recognized the pattern immediately. First, isolate the anomaly. Then, shrink it. Then, close the book. Internal memos followed. Max's name was removed from documents. Processes were relabeled. Terminology softened. What remained was the system cleaner now, lighter, unburdened. In public briefings, officials struck the right tone. We've identified the source of the deviation. One said, safeguards are being implemented. No one asked why the deviation had been rewarded before it was condemned. No one asked why it had spread so easily at home. Max read the coverage without surprise. He had expected anger, fear, even hatred. What he had not expected was gratitude. Online, the reactions split cleanly. Some demanded consequences. Others were almost affectionate. He meant well. He went too far. But he saw what others didn't. At least now we know who to hold accountable. That was the function of a scapegoat, not to punish, but to reassure. If Max was the problem, then everyone else could remain intact. Max walked through the city as his name circulated without him. He passed a cafe where a debate played softly from a mounted screen. Cross's influence created a moral hazard, an unsanctioned framework, a failure of personal judgment. The patrons nodded along. The system was innocent again. He understood then what had truly happened. His ideas had not been rejected. They had been preserved by sacrificing him. By compressing complexity into a single figure, society had found a way to digest the discomfort without changing its habits. Mara met him days later in a quiet corridor away from cameras. They're closing ranks, she said. Around you. Max gave a small nod. That's efficient, he replied. She searched his face. You know what this means? Yes, he said. They won't stop. They'll just say they did. Outside, the city moved smoothly. Processes flowed. Decisions happened somewhere, carried by language that no longer bore names. Max felt the final clarity settle. He had not broken the system. He had made it possible for the system to survive without admitting what it was. And now, it had chosen him as proof that it never needed to change. Once the blame is assigned, the system can finally relax.